Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the situation report or the summary for the day of 1981 for the 31st of October for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. And so we're going to start off with the Kursk front first. So over at the Kursk front, we have the Ukrainians trying to attack Novi Put again. This happened again. They try again for unknown reasons. I really not entirely understand this reasoning of why this is strategically important for the Ukrainians. I haven't figured that out yet. If you have any idea, let me know in the comments below. Russian forces are still clashing with the Ukrainians over in the western flank, with the Ukrainians clashing back. Basically, there is a major clash around here, then and also over in the Blakovo region in the southern flank. So we zoom in a bit so you can see a bit clearer. So Russian forces attack at Novo-Ivanovka, Nizhny Klin, Darino, as well as Nikolaevo Darino. Ukrainian forces attack at Darino and Novo-Ivanovka. So that is the current situation around here. There is geolocation of the Ukrainian tank getting destroyed along this railway line near Nikoski. So, but that's about it over at the Kursk front. We move on to the Kharkiv front. So over at the Kharkiv front, we have only fighting reported at Voschansk, as well as Okremivka. So this is the only two. If I'm not wrong, the Voschansk is reported both. Okremivka is only by the Russian Defense Ministry. So this is the only two attack that is being reported. Okremivka has been fighting, previously there's fighting reported here 28-29. So it's getting a bit more serious because we are almost like 4 consecutive days of Russian attacking around this area here. So I wonder if this is actually some kind of a serious incursion in the near future. I'm not sure. So let's continue to watch this space. This definitely interesting. So so press the like button, subscribe, so you can keep track, and hit the bell icon. I usually don't say it, because I don't think people cares about the bell icon, but yeah, you can hit the bell icon. So over at the Kupiansk front, the Russian forces are fighting in the region of Kulubivka, Kupiansk, as well as Petropavlivka. So the rest of the area here, there's nothing else, nothing happening. So if we zoom in a bit, we can see a bit clearer the situation. The Russians are pushing in the forest region. There is geolocation of Russian forces signaling some progress in Kusherivka, and fighting is in the region of Petropavlivka. And there is report of shelling or fighting in the Kupiansk region. It could be a push in this way. So there is some kind of a serious push moving south towards Kupiansk, and this is getting a bit serious if you ask me. We shall see how this goes. Airstrike is already hitting Kupiansk right now, so let's see how this continue to develop. Moving south of this position at the Pischane front. So this Pischane, and fighting is reported in this area as the Russians are on the Pischane offensive. Fighting is now reported at Kolesnikivka. Geolocation of Russian forces in Krylakivka as they push south of Zarizove. Berestove continue to be reported to be fighting at Dozova, and then there is a frontline change at Stemakivka, as well as fighting at Vishneve. And this is all moving in this direction, in this big arrow direction, south of this Krylakivka crossing. So this is interesting. Looks like the Russians are going to push hard and then reach all the way to this point, and then they go for Borova, which is further south of this position over here. So it looks like this is going to be like a massive big arrow move. If I zoom out, you can see this could be the big arrow move that we are actually witnessing right now. So this could be what we are witnessing right now. And so Krylakivka is just one of the stop before they reach Borova. So this is getting a bit interesting if you ask me. So over at the Svetove front, in fact, we can even change the name to Borova front, but no, let's not do that. No, so let's keep it simple. That's Svetove front. At the Svetove front, we have fighting reported over at Stepove, Kharkivka, and Katerinivka. So this is pretty random if you ask me. Here and there. So probably just skirmishes. So, and then we move south of this position over in the Crimea front. We have fighting reported at Terni. The attack is coming from the north, from Novosadove, as the Russians have captured that position. And fighting is reported in the Serbiansky forestry. And if you look at the situation in Terni, the Russians have basically entered Terni from the north, from Novosadove. And the latest geolocation shows that the Russian forces has already, starting to assault seriously towards Terni. From the crossing, from this damp up crossing is merely just 2 kilometers. So it's pretty near. The Russians are going to push pretty hard, I believe. And this notwithstanding that the Russians have advanced positions in the east, which the Ukrainian forces that is defending this area have to make some judgment call. Do they stay or do they retreat? So this is going to be a very difficult decision to make. So let's see how the commander on the ground make these decisions. So we move on from the Crimea front. At the Sivers front, we only have fighting reported at Sivers, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Nothing much about that. Shellings reported at Nikophorovka in the rear position. The location has been shelled for like 2 days already. And over in the Bakhmut front, in the northern flank, we have fighting reported at Zeleniansky and Chasivya. So I believe just skirmishes, nothing serious around here. South of Bakhmut, there's nothing. Over the New York front is also really quiet. There is some fighting reported at Torex, but it's mainly reported by the Ukrainians and the Russian Defense Ministries. But this, I think it's just very skirmishy. I don't think this is anything. I don't think the Russians are making very serious push. I think they are holding position. And over at the Pokrov front. At the Pokrov front, in the northern flank, we have fighting reported at Novo Alexandrivka and Vozdevizenka. There is geolocation of a Russian advance in Novotoretsky. So that's about it in this area here in the northern flank of the Pokrov front. In the Pokrov sector, so this is Pokrov, this is Milorad, and in this sector, the Russian forces are pushing at Promin, Mykolaievka, towards Milorad, Sukiya, and Lysivka. The lack of fighting in the other 2 KKs might suggest that the Ukrainians may be pushed out again from the Krasnaya and Krutya. So let's wait and see how this continue to develop. Over in the south, Selidov's region, as I mentioned yesterday already, Selidove is now confirmed Russian capture, and the Russians is now already pushing out from Selidove with advancement in the northwest of Selidove. Geolocation of Russian forces is located and fighting is being reported moving west of Selidove. Fighting is reported in the region of Vishneve and in the south of Vishneve. So that's all from Selidove region. So, and then over in the south, over in this Sukerine region, the Russian forces are pushing Novodimitrivka. There is a straightening of front line along the main road, and fighting is already reported over in the region of Zoria, and there is also seemingly fighting at Sonsivka, which is also known as Krasny in Russian, and there is also fighting reported at Kremina Balka and Novoselidivka. So definitely, things are already moving on from Sukerine. It's no longer, yeah, like the front line just keep moving, and I believe that anyone who don't watch for 2 weeks, don't follow the Ukraine war for 2 weeks, they come back with like, what the hell had happened? I believe that would be the kind of feeling that you get. Any one of you guys, just came back, after a decently short hiatus, from watching Ukraine war. I know because it can be very tiring. Then you come back and say, what the fuck had happened? It's like, what? Then like you don't even recognize the front line. Sometimes though, I look at the front line, it's like, what the hell? Things are moving so quickly. And so over in the Khernik region, there is fighting. The Russian forces have been geolocated inside Khodakivka. I believe this is the geolocation that led to the Ukrainian mapping to concede all of this eastern part of Khodakivka. And for the first time, we have fighting reported at Voschenka by the pro-Russian sources, with the Russian forces already starting to push Voschenka. And I believe Khodakivka is now already fully evacuated. I don't think there's any more Ukrainian troops. I think the core of Khodakivka captured by the Russian forces will be very, very soon. So far not yet. As per this recording, we are like already, you know, in the noon time of Ukraine, I believe. We haven't seen that information yet. Fighting is reported over in the region of Optrisky as well. So that's the current situation over at Kurakivka. And so over in the Kurakove sector, there's also a lot of things happening around here. Russian forces are fighting towards Kurakove. Fighting is reported at Maximilianivka and towards Dane. And particularly over in the south of Maximilianivka, some major frontline changes around here. The Ukrainian mapping have shown that the Russian forces have fully secured Maximilianivka and Georgivka in the south, conquering all of the highway and are making some great move south of Georgivka as well. So looks like the Ukrainian line here has entirely collapsed as well, which is expected because Russian forces was geolocated here. Anyway, they were geolocated here, so you know anything behind it most likely is gone. So this is the current stressing situation for the Ukrainians over in this area here. So we move on from the Kurakove sector. We go south and over at this Uspennivka sector, the eastern part of Uspennivka sector. Russian forces are shelling Romanivka, and they are attacking in the north of Konstantinivka towards Antonivka, Yelizavetivka, and towards Trudove. So this is the current situation. Someone commented that I should not draw too many arrows towards a settlement. So they say one arrow, you know, is better for the reporting. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the case. Maybe, you know, visually, I'm not sure because I like to like, no, maybe like that. No, like there's more ways to attack it. But no, yeah, I mean it's very impromptu. So I shall see how this goes. In the north of Konstantinivka, the Russians seem to have advanced in this area based on Deep State UA's mapping, Ukrainian mapping. However, when it merged with our confirmed mapping based on geolocations, it looks like the Russians have basically taken most of this entire trench line. So we shall see how this continue to develop. Over in the western side of the Uspennivka flank or front, Uspennivka sector, the Russian forces have taken massive amount of grounds, and I did mention in yesterday's situation report, or maybe it's a frontline changes report, that the Russian forces, most likely frontline changes report, I'm not sure. So I said the Russian forces is going to straighten the line. In fact, going all the way to Yasna Polyana to Bohov-Yevlenka. This is what I said, and indeed, most of this is coming true. Because I say that the Ukrainian forces is unlikely to have positions between Novo-Ukrainka and Bohov-Yevlenka, and this is coming true with the Ukrainian mapping showing that Russian forces have made huge advances in the Novo-Ukrainka and Bohov-Yevlenka region, with the Russian forces fully securing Novo-Ukrainka, expanding outwards, continue the push from the south, as well as from Bohov-Yevlenka going westward, and securing the entire front line massively, as now they are poised to attack Maximivka from the southeast. So fighting is also reported in Trudove, as mentioned earlier. Russian Defense Ministry announced the capture of Yasna Polyana, but tentatively we don't have the front line, we don't have the mapping to reflect this change. Geolocation of Russian forces raising the flag in Shatarsky. However, this is still on the eastern half of Shatarsky. So fighting is still being reported in the Shatarsky region. So we just have to continue to wait for the confirmation or better information on Shatarsky, as well as the mapping at Yasna Polyana to reflect on this Russian Defense Ministry's claim. Ukrainian forces have FPV drone struck in Trudove. Not love struck, FPV drone struck. Is more deadly. So that's about it. So Novo-Ukrainka, this is also a flag raising at in Novo-Ukrainka in the center. Not important because we already go past that already. In the Velika Novosilka sector, so in this sector we have fighting reported towards Rozdony, or maybe it's just a shelling report. This is by the Russian Defense Ministry, so it could be a shelling report. Fighting is also reported towards Velika Novosilka. This could also be shelling report, so just take this with a pinch of salt. And There's nothing much over in the Velika Novosilka sector, as the Russians are focusing on their big arrow pushes. There's a several one, Senkove, in the Zoria region, Korakove, and then towards Uspenivka in 2 different directions. And then you have another push maybe coming out from here. So yeah, so Uspenivka is going to be one prime target. The next target is going to be Constantinople. So let's see. Over in the Zaporizhia front, we have only fighting reported at Novodanilivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So Ukrainians, yeah, and then so it's probably in this direction like this. From yeah, so that's about it. And over at the Kherson front, we have the usual, where the Ukrainians continue to talk about the pre-Dniprovsky direction. They defended 2 Russian attacks. So not sure if this is the location, because this the pre-Dniprovsky is here, but I'm not sure if that really means literally. Oh, and then there's shelling reported at Kherson, at Bilozerka, Tokarivka, and Kozatsky. Otherwise, that's about it. So anyway, that's it. So this is the summary for the day of 981 for the 31st of October. Press the like button, subscribe. The next 7 to 9 days are going to be super busy. So I'll try to keep up with the reporting. If I cannot, do pardon me. So do press the like button, subscribe, and show support. And I'll see you guys in the next update.